Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and this is a special episode because we just taped a best movie ever for Mortal Kombat Annihilation with Vito. But this special guest...
Is that Jax?
Yeah, now that's what I'm talking about.
Red Williams, Jackson Self. Oh my God, this was such an amazing episode, guys. You're going to want to watch it. It was so much fun.
We had a good time. I think you
don't
guys are going to want to see how it turns out. I won't
spoil it. You're not going to want to miss
this. But I think it's a nail-biter who wins this one.
And Red reveals some amazing factoids about the movie. You guys are going to want to head over there and check out Best Movie Ever, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, where we have to be positive, Vito, on what seemingly a lot of people think is the worst movie, one of the worst Mortal Kombat ever, but one of the worst movies ever.
You're alive. Too bad you will die.
And I'm curious, what was your experience when you saw the film for the first time? Did you have a reaction like a lot of fans did with the effects and things, or did you enjoy watching it?
My kids were big Mortal Kombat fans, so I was excited and honored to be in the movie. When I actually saw the movie, I want to be honest, but at the same time, I don't want to be mean.
Respectful.
There were some scenes that I thought could have been done better. I thought that my scene at the end with Motaro, we filmed so many times from different angles, fight scenes, inside, in tight. You know, we could have been more intricate with that and would have raised the bar for that. I think sometimes we leaned a little too much on special effects, and I think that hurt us a little bit.
So ultimately, you came out of it a little disappointed and knowing what had been shot and what didn't make it into the movie.
Yes, absolutely. And it was my first big movie, so I saw it at the premiere, and I went with my beautiful wife, who I've been married to for this July 38 years. So she's been with me since I was a little teenager, and she's very instrumental in my success. The creator gave me a beautiful woman, and she gives me a hard time about the movie. You know what I mean? I'm like, baby, stop. Be quiet. You know, she's like, you laugh
anytime.
Be quiet. Don't say that. Don't say it. So
anytime we get into an argument, she goes, well, at least I wasn't in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Like, all right, fine.
He said, when we get in an argument, you say, well, at least I wasn't in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. So I wish I could have gave the movie an A, but I gave it a C.
All right, well,
I think your performance, honestly, as we said, stands out. Like, you were a very likable character. You brought a lot of likability to that role. You know, I was rooting for Jax, and I think they actually gave you one of the better kind of character arcs. I thought it worked.
I learned what Raiden told me. Faith in yourself is all you need.
Never give up hope.
Before I get into even more asking about those arms, I want to hype Mr. Williams here, Red, up because you didn't just do Mortal Kombat Annihilation. You were part of one of the most iconic shows of my youth, American Gladiators. You were Saber. I know a lot of people watching go, oh my God, yes, Saber was a huge popular character on that series for a long time. But you also were a major NFL player. You played for the Rams, right, and the Chargers for a period. So you have such an amazing athletic and an amazing background. Tell us a little bit about that.
I was drafted by the Rams in 1986. I was their fifth pick. I was a running back, and I was competing with Eric Dickerson, Hall of Famer, and Charles White, legend. And I was actually asked to go on injury reserve for that season, and I didn't want to go on injury reserve. I wanted to play. I ended up getting picked up the next season by the Raiders. It was nice. They gave me a signing bonus, and it was good. I was boxing in that off season, you know, to get right, and didn't do a lot of speed work. When we got into camp, they put me at fullback. Oh man, I'm not a fullback. Fullbacks get hit in the head over and over and over again. There's one play from Raider camp that I don't even remember what happened. And I didn't watch the film, so I still don't know what happened. I ended up tearing my groin. So I missed that season, which was pretty nice because it was the strike season and I didn't have to be a scab, and I still got paid for 90% of the season. So that's pretty good. The next year, I signed with the San Diego Chargers. I ended up making it all the way to first string. I'm going to be the starting tailback for the San Diego Chargers. My dreams are on track. I'm going to run for 2,000 yards a couple seasons. I'm going to be the first person to do it more than once. And the last hitting practice before the preseason starts, I break 2 bones in my back, and that ended my football career. So I was walking around angry, trying to provide for my family. And one day my wife tells me that she heard on the radio they were having trials for American Gladiators. I can't really go into American Gladiators because I have other things to talk about, and I can't legally.
I know ESPN's doing an amazing 30 for 30 about
Yes,
American
sir.
so I hope
Yes,
that's
sir.
what that means because I'm so
Yes,
looking
sir.
forward to
That's
that
what
show.
that means.
I don't want people to think there's something bad happening.
Oh,
but
okay.
I won't,
No,
we won't push
I-
on that
I just
topic.
legally- I can't talk about it.
I'm assuming you've exclusively given that, so stay tuned for that.
But you were at a low point. You managed to come back and kind of make your way into Hollywood, is what it seems like.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The creator had a plan for me.
Fantastic.
But
So how
going
did-
to the Mortal Kombat.
how did Mortal
I
Kombat
can
play into
go
that?
there. I had a guy that met me, and he was like, Red, you have personality, you have the body, you have the look, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is gone. And so he took me to meet some producers. And when he took me to meet this production company, they asked me, did I bring some pictures? I left the pictures up front. And when they called up front and said, can you bring me the pictures that Red sent? She said, I'm sorry, I thought they went to casting, so I sent them to casting. I'll go get them. So she went to get the pictures from casting, and she comes back and says, they want to meet you. So I go back to meet them, and they said, we have this movie, Mortal Kombat, and we have this character, Jax, and we would like to have you read for this character. So they gave me the sides. They asked me, could you fight? Can you fight? I'm like, can I fight? Yes, sir. They said, we want you to come back and meet the director. So I said, okay. I called my wife. I said, baby, they want me to come back and meet the director. So I come back and meet the producer, same thing, read for the lines. And they said, we have this idea that for the last half of the movie, we would like the character Jax to be shirtless. So can you take your shirt off for us so we can see your body? I'm like, oh man, I just ate lunch. I wish you would have told me that before. I wouldn't have eaten.
Well, it's done a couple laps before I came in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So then I took my shirt off and they asked me, could I fight? Same questions. They said that day, we want you to be Jax in Mortal Kombat
Wow.
Annihilation.
Same day. That's
Same day.
crazy.
Wow.
So then I had to meet, the executives at New Line. And when I went to New Line, they wanted me to be another character in another movie. They wanted me to be the lead in another movie. I'm not going to go there. And so became a battle between.
They were fighting over you.
Entertainment, yes.
Wow.
And for them to do another movie. And I'm like, this is going to be it right here. All right.
Yeah, that feels pretty good all of a sudden.
Yes, it does.
All of a sudden, everybody's fighting over you. Now, did you have fight training before you went into Mortal Kombat, or did you learn that later? You said you're a black belt, right?
I've been taking karate since maybe 12 years old. I started at Chuck Norris Studios in Torrance, California. And I still had to take certain classes for Mortal Kombat because they have fight choreographers and they want, when they say do something, they want you to know the lingo. Plus, I did need to get in shape again. So they had me go see a fight choreographer and a fight trainer.
Yeah.
For weeks.
I mean, I think you're the only one who else has their shirt off the whole movie. You did have to be ripped.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
You look incredible in that movie, too.
Look, I ain't looked like that since.
Oh, I've never looked like that, so I got nothing to say.
What was your worst part of the movie? I'm curious, because everyone calls this the worst movie, but what was one part you're like, yeah, that
when
was
I fought the stick monster.
Come on, that was so cool.
And I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? They said, go ahead and hit this thing. If I could do it over again, maybe I would have hit it slower. It looked like I was hitting him in his butt.
What they have, just like a big
was it like a tennis ball
like
or something?
lump?
They had giant green pads. You know what I mean? Like football pads, giant green pads.
Okay, so you were punching the pads.
So I had no idea what it was until I saw the premiere, and I'm sitting there like, oh my goodness gracious. So
yeah, you think they would give you an idea what the thing looks like before you start punching it, so you know where to aim or something.
Right. They said hit there, and then at the end, jump off of this thing and hit him here. And I did, and that turned out to be his nose, and he went back into the ground.
Was there a vibe on the set, like without naming names? I don't want to get dropped, but like, was there a vibe on the set of like, oh, this script's confusing, what's happening,
No.
The
script was nice. The script was nice. Not all actors are best friends. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had not a fun relationship with Liu Kang, Robin Shou.
Robin Shaw.
Robin Shou wanted me to do fight scenes his way, you know, little what's the word?
Quick movements.
Little
kinda.
kung fu, yes. And that's not me. I'm not Jax. I'm Jax.
No, you're the power
Yes,
guy.
you're
You got to
still-
throw
no,
this
yeah.
right.
gotta
I
fight
am
your
a
style.
power
Yeah.
guy. And I said to him,
You're the heavy.
if I fight like you, the people are going to believe that I really don't know how to fight because that's not where I'm at home. That's why I was a little disappointed with what they did at the Motaro scene, because had they not chopped it up, I had some very nice, in-tight, powerful things that you could see ducking and hitting and, you know, and seeing.
Was anybody a fan of the games? Like, was anybody talking about the material during the movie? Like, producers,
No.
writers, nobody was
Did
really...
they have any games on the set to like reference or
No.
anything like that?
No.
Wow.
Well, remember, we filmed all over the world. We filmed nothing here.
What is your take on why the film is sort of frowned upon to this day?
Not enough character-driven storylines. In other words, I think for me personally, some of the special effects took away from the first movie. Was just, you felt the energy of the actors, and it wasn't a bunch of special effects to override it. Not to mention, I think we were a little handicapped by the PG-13. Nowadays, they're getting ready to do the Mortal Kombat with rated R, and they get to go all in, you know.
Are you excited for that? Are you excited for that one? Do you watch, like, are you looking forward to like a new, because Jax is in this. Is it hard for you to like watch that, or are you just going to avoid it?
No. I'm not excited to see it, but I'm not avoiding it. You know, my kids are grown now, so I'm even over special superhero movies. You know, I'm over it. My granddaughter is a world champion in jiu-jitsu, gi and no gi, at 15 years old. She won 2 gold medals at the world championships. My sons are black belt equivalent, as is my daughter. So my grandchildren, my little baby right there, she's 4 years old and she kicks. Hi. So I have a real fighting family.
So if anybody messes with your family, they're going to get demolished, is what I'm hearing.
Absolutely. So
you're my neighbor. Be as loud as you want. Mow the lawn in the middle of the night. I got nothing to say.
Yeah, we take self-defense seriously over here.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Did you? Back to the movie. Did you ad lib any of that stuff? Like
most of it was ad lib.
Really?
I shouldn't say most of it. I'll say a lot of it was ad lib, and they let me. You know,
that's fun.
Well, because you had a lot of good energy with those lines where it really seemed like you were kind of the more human character. Where everybody else seems to be like, the gods and whatever else, and you're like, I don't know what any of this is. I just punched my way out of the situation.
I was the comic relief, like that line where I said, "Look like this babe is having a bad hair day." They wanted me to say, "Look like this bitch is having a bad hair day." Excuse me. I said I'm the only black character, and I don't want to be the only one cursing in the movie, so I didn't want to do it.
No, that's a good.
But there was some ad libs in there.
I want to ask that because there's criticism, right? Oh, well, this Jax is just a stereotype role in the film. Did you feel any of that, or no? Were you just being yourself?
No.
What was your response to that?
I didn't see it being anything stereotypical in the movie. I didn't curse. I was a positive influence. I saved Earth from Outworld. I also was a good comrade to Sonya Blade. So it was a good character, positive character.
Well, and it was one of my points I didn't get to, but it's a very awesomely diverse movie. Like it's leads,
yes,
you know,
is.
It's you and Robin are the leads, which was back in that time was not, and a lot of women leading the.
Then you had
charge.
Talisa Soto, and I think she's Latina. Then you had Irina, who played Jade, I believe it was.
Wow.
So there was a ton of like female leads.
Yeah,
in
it
the
was.
movie,
I mean, it didn't like they weren't.
They brought
just,
everybody.
They weren't just doing it to do it because they had to. Like it really felt like a nice, diverse crew, just people kicking ass, and then I was gonna say like even like when Sonya's getting hit, like they don't pull any. She gets hit hard, and then she hits hard back. Like I really did appreciate that the film treats everybody sort of the same. They don't like worry or tiptoe around stuff in it. It's like no, everyone's just in this movie.
It was a wonderful experience. You had a very diverse cast. I think the storyline was actually pretty good if we could have kept it with the characters and stayed away from so many special effects.
How was Brian Thompson? Because his Shao Kahn was amazing in this movie.
I love Brian Thompson.
Oh my God,
we became friends during the set. I didn't know him before the movie. We blowed Brian Thompson, myself, and James Raymar, we would bowl every night when we got off work because there was a bowling alley at the bottom of the hotel when we were in Thailand. And boy, you know, that Thailand money for 20 American dollars, you can get 500 baht. So we was betting $50,000 baht games. You know what I mean? 50,000 baht.
I am to be feared, for if you fail me now, I will feed your rotting corpse to the worms.
Did you see how well he played in that Shao Kahn?
Yeah, he plays
that role.
He kills
Not to mention
that role,
James Raymar. James Raymar is a quality actor, so it was there. The talent to do something special was definitely there.
Well, I think it was you three. You three were trying the hardest. I felt. I really. You pulled out the three people that I think.
Sandra Hess as Sonya Blade.
Sonya was
also.
too. Yeah, I'll give her two. Yeah, so you were. Those main characters were totally. And to quote Brian, to quote Shao Kahn, "It is glorious."
And it is glorious.
That is one another iconic.
Yes, he did. he played that role.
He has like muscles in his face that he's like flexing.
He did. Yes, he did.
He was a scary looking dude. They definitely cast that part very well.
Awesome.
And he acted very well. You know what I mean? He tried to raise the level of the movie. Yes, he did. Well, so it's kind of bad that certain people on Rotten Tomatoes and they talk about the movie not being a 4-star movie. And it wasn't because of the acting. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, yeah. Ultimately, do you come out of the experience of Mortal Kombat Annihilation? Is that a positive experience? Do you look back on that negatively? How do you come away from that experience?
It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. Check this out, everybody. Everybody that hears this. I was a lead actor in a movie that opened up #1 at the box office. Do you know how small this percentile of actors that get to say that? You know, so
Bravo.
I was a starring actor in a #1 box office movie, and after that, I signed to do Hulk for Universal Pictures. So it was a great experience for me.
Now it led to great things. Yeah.
Now I teach scripture full time, so I left Hollywood. You know, I had a calling to teach scripture. I teach about Father Yahweh and Yahshua, his Messiah, the Savior, and that's what I do now. And he has literally taken me all around the world over and over and over again. So I've tried it all, you know.
Yeah.
And now
sounds like you've been blessed. You've even when you've been at low points, you've managed to.
I just love you find the positive.
Greater heights.
Vito, there's no better guest than Red here, who's finding the positive, because some people would probably just go in misery.
A lot of people would get discouraged.
Bitter. I didn't
up.
get everything. And no, Red's looking at this so positively. The glass is full, not empty. It's an honor. It's motivational to hear. I do have one last question though, because you were speaking a little out of tune with Robin. His hair though. Was it as amazing in person as it was on the movie?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
He's got a glorious head of hair.
You know, you can have an argument and he'll do like that and they go right back in place.
Felt like he must have had a whole team taking care of that hair. It was incredible. But Red, what an honor to have you here. We had so much fun with the film, and it was even funner to talk to you. So thank you so much for coming on the show and doing this. Any final things or words of motivation you want to give our audience?
Vito and Andy are fantastic, and they have me believing that Mortal Kombat Annihilation is, in fact, the best movie
ever. We did it. So there, you can't plug it anymore. Wait, you got to see what we did over there. Go check out Best Movie Ever over on Movie World. It is. If you thought this was fun, it's even more crazy over there. So go click.
We had a lot of fun.
I will put it at the end card here to go click on the Best Movie Ever. Stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you later. Bye.
See everybody later. Take care of yourselves.